Hey, what is up everyone? Danny and Alex. In this segment, we're going to talk about mixed martial arts, more specifically stand-up techniques for mixed martial arts. So check it out. All right, so in today's segment, what I want to cover is keep in mind that if you're a mixed martial arts fighter, you might be a complete fighter, but there's always going to be someone who has a preference. So in my case, I have preferences as well. But let's say, for example, for this tutorial, I'm the striker. So I want you guys to always, when you incorporate some training methods, always specifically train stuff where you don't always just blend everything together. What I mean by that is, like, today we're training stuff where one person's striking only and the other person's going to be grappling only. So for example, the drills are going to be that my goal as the Muay Thai fighter, for example, or kickboxer, I want to stay on my feet, right? I want to, hit him, use my kicks, use my clinches, knees in there, use my boxing techniques, as opposed to Alex might do the role of being a wrestler. So the wrestler's goal is going to be to take me down. It's pretty simple, right? But my goal is way beyond that because I need to try to knock him out, stay on my feet, but also prevent him from accomplishing his objective to take me onto my back where all of my strikes are going to be pretty much nullified, all right? So let's cover a few basic things that are going to help you guys stay on your feet. Okay, so the first thing the wrestler is going to do basically is going to be to clinch you to the body lock or try to grab your legs, right? So let's say, for example, let's start with a single leg takedown. So if I'm in my normal stance, which is left foot forward, he can have any stance he wants, and a good wrestler is going to be able to grab the single leg from any position he has, right? If he's been wrestling for a long time, it doesn't matter if he's in his good stance or opposite, a southpaw stance. This guy can shoot a single leg from anywhere he wants. So what we're going to do, the first thing, is always prevent. Now, before we get started, I think I mentioned this in previous mixed martial arts videos, but when you strike for mixed martial arts, your stance has to be crouched down just slightly more than if you were only strict Thai boxing, for example. So I want to be a bit lower like this, okay? My stance has to be bent slightly. So when he goes for the single leg, as he grabs this leg, all I need to do is move my leg away like this, all right? I don't want him to catch this leg. It's pretty basic stuff, right? Obviously, it's easier said than done, but these are the types of drills you want to be practicing on a regular basis, right? To understand that in order to take me down, he has to grab my body, he has to grab my waist, he has to grab my legs, right? If he can't reach the legs, then he can't take me down, right? So that's the first concept. So if we switch positions here, and he's going for this single leg, all I want to do is just bring this one. So now reach for it a little bit more, right from here, right? So this is the first thing. Now, the second element is going to be using your hands. One of the things you don't want to do as a striker is think that all of your punches are going to be knocking this guy out flat. It doesn't work like that, right? Number one, this guy could be very resilient and they can eat a punch, right? And just keep driving like a Mack truck and take you down anyhow. The other thing is the timing concept, right? So the components of good timing means that I need to land flush. So for example, on the chin to knock him out. And if I don't do that, maybe I just catch him on the top of the skull or something, I might even injure my hands, let alone he's gonna grab my leg and take me down. So when I level change, I don't wanna use my hands to simply strike because he's gonna be charging fast and take me down anyways or grab my leg. So what I want to do is level change, but use my palms to create distance so he can't reach my body or my legs, okay? So the second thing is going to be here. When I'm fighting with him and he goes in, I want to post onto his head as such. So if I stop the head from coming in, then it minimizes the length of his reach to grab that single leg, for example. Or the shoulders could be another option right here, right? But I don't want to stay there too long because a good wrestler is going to pop the elbows up. As I get to here, it's going to pop it up and then just continue to drive. So I want to just use that so I can get away. Now, he might switch to the double leg tactic, right? So if it's a double leg now, I can't use the same principle of just scooting this leg out because when I move this leg out on a double leg, he still goes in and catches the back leg anyhow. Then he cuts the corner and I'm gone, okay? So on the double leg, it's going to be more of using my hands before I sprawl. So if I'm here and I don't want to be taken down, boom, I just use my hands and I kind of push his shoulders or his head, and sometimes I want to redirect that so I can create angles because good wrestlers are going to be very, very, should I say, very hard-nosed in the sense that once they shoot, they're going to reshoot underneath, and sometimes you can't sprawl. The reason why we're talking about this is if we're in the center of the cage or the ring, I might not be able to sprawl because maybe my feet are going to hit on the cage panel once I start to move back, all right? So what I want to do now is move in a circle. So if I stop his shot from here, boom, now I want to move his head to this way so I can create angles and then get out of there as fast as possible. The next thing we want to look at is if Alex shoots, and he's a great wrestler, he shoots in and he still grabs my leg. Then he's gonna come up and maybe even body lock me, all right? So for example, if I stop the shoulders here, boom, he might continue driving, and look, this is where we end up. He has the body lock position, right? So the first thing I wanna do, maybe my back's against the fence or whatnot, I wanna push my butt behind so I can create space. I don't want my arms in this matter because I don't want him going behind me. So all I have to do is bring my hips back and frame him here. Now I can use this to pummel inside and get the double unders, and now who has the control? You're back to where he wanted to get the double unders, but it's you that has that control, right? Let's switch positions here. So once again, he's shooting in, all right? Boom, this didn't work, it doesn't cut it. Now he goes in, boom, and look, he gets to this position. If I stay here and try to fight, right, especially if I have nothing to lean on, he's gonna bend me and then boom, I'm gonna land on the mat. All right, so the first thing I wanna do is bring my hips back as far as possible to nullify that grip, and then look, I can pummel 1, 2, and look, we have the control. Every time you have a control, don't lock your fingers, all right, because you're gonna have mixed martial arts gloves, you're gonna have the gauze, the hand wraps. So you always wanna go here, just the monkey grip, and cup it right here. All right, some people will go palm to palm as well, that works as well, or the seatbelt grip, okay? And now from here, when you bend them over, that's the bent over, and then you can take him down to the mat, okay? Now, the next thing is also using that and hitting, right? So for example, maybe I shot in and I missed that shot, and now he brings me up. Look, he brings me back up. Now, he's not gonna lock the arms together. So what's gonna happen here, he might push me away, boom, create space, and look, as I back out, the high kick is there, boom. A lot of times when you break from the clinch, this is a Muay Thai tactic, the moment you disengage, the person is not going to expect that high kick, right? It's almost like you catch him in the blind spot, okay? The other option can also blind spot him with your palm. So as he gets the double unders from here, look, he's going to push me away to break, but look, hides the vision with this. Now I don't see what's going on in this direction. This is blindsided for me. As he removes this, or I push it away, look at this. Boom, the cross is there. Right, these are little tactics we like to train once in a while, but we're going to show too much of that stuff today. The last thing I want to talk about or even cover is simply, guys, if you're a striker and you're training for MMA, mixed martial arts, all right, you always want to keep in mind that every time you train, you're going to be going up against people that are specialized in something. So for example, everyone says they do MMA, but everyone has one skill in particular that they've been training a lot longer than others. So for example, they might be boxers, they might be wrestlers, they might be pure jiu-jitsu guys that have transitioned to mixed martial arts. So you want to be able to understand that and understand who you're up against, so that way there when you train and you do your training sessions or your training camps before your fight, you understand exactly what you specifically need to work on. So there you have it, guys. A couple of basic tricks. All right, things you should always be incorporating to training sessions in your MMA workouts. Guys, hope you enjoyed this content. Leave us a thumbs up and we'll see you
in the next video.
Take care.